there are other intonation patterns that you're going to hear people using that, if you can adapt them into your own speech, can convey much richer emotional nuance. Rising intonation moves from a lower pitch to a higher pitch. Falling intonation goes from a higher pitch to a lower pitch. But we're going to be playing around with wavering intonation patterns. Welcome back to Forward. We are dedicated to helping you improve your spoken performance. We're going to be taking a look at a text to guide us in this journey into communication. Let's just do a baseline to establish some things before we investigate intonation more deeply. December solstice. The sun slept in heavy, heavenly blankets. Before we get to our intonation patterns, a couple little vowel sounds I just want to highlight. We have an sound. This is in words, for instance, like best or get or less. And we also have what's called a short I sound, or like in this or his or quit. Do you hear the difference between those? We want to make sure that we pronounce each of them differently. Otherwise, people can be confused by what we say. To give some examples of this, in the word December. December. Do you hear that M sound? In fact, a lot of letters have that sound, like M or S or F or X. Do you hear how all those have that This is that S sound again, like in best or get. December. We also see it in the word slept. 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 We see it in the word heavy too. Heavy. Heavy. And we also see it in the word heavenly as well. Heavenly. Heavenly. The other sound, our short I sound, or is in a lot of these words as well. Solstice. We have that is. Solstice. We also have in the word in. We have it in the word heavenly as well, and that in sound. Heaven. In heaven, heavenly. And lastly, we have it in the word blankets at the end. It's blankets. It's blankets. Let's compare again our sounds with our sounds. December. Slept. Heavy. Heavenly. Our sounds. Solstice. In. Heaven. The in sound again. And then blankets at the end. So we're going to play around now with our intonation. We're going to introduce, again, wavering intonation. Wavering intonation is basically going to be movements. It's not just a falling intonation. It's not just a rise. These can be fall, rise. Let's use the word this as an example. It can be like this. It can be a rise, fall. This. And what also happens too is that they can stack together. So for instance, like this, or the opposite of that would be this. Now, these can be used in a variety of different meanings and things like that. So I would encourage you to, as you listen to people talk, try to get an idea why you think they could be doing that. A lot of times it might be used to show frustration, like, no. It can be used to show surprise, like, what? And things like that. They convey lots of different emotions that just a rising intonation or a falling intonation might struggle to convey. For the sake of our exercise, what we're going to do is play around with different wavering intonations just as an experiment. What we're going to do for the first word in our line, we're going to do a fall, rise. And then the last word of our line, we're going to do a rise, fall. Fall, rise, fall. So for instance, in the first line, December. Do you hear that? December. Then the opposite of that would be solstice. December solstice. December solstice. How about our next line? Sun, heavy. Sun, heavy. And then in our very last line, heaven, blankets. Okay, so let's put all of that together. Fall, rise, rise, fall. December solstice. Sun slept in heavy, heavenly blankets. December solstice. Sun slept in heavy, heavenly blankets. Okay. What if we did the opposite of that? December solstice. Sun slept in heavy, heavenly blankets. Can you do that again? December solstice. Sun slept in heavy, heavenly blankets. Okay. As another experiment, let's do all that with a falling intonation on everything. December solstice. Sun slept in heavy, heavenly blankets. One more time with the falling intonation. December solstice. Sun slept in heavy, heavenly blankets. Versus a rising intonation on everything. December solstice. Sun slept in heavy, heavenly blankets. Do you see it makes everything sound like a question, right? December solstice. Sun slept in heavy, heavenly blankets. Okay. Again, playing around with those different intonation patterns. Hear people using them. Try to copy what they're doing. Try to understand what is the emotional impact of what they're saying and how they're saying it based off of that intonation.